Hey, welcome to Sportscene. I'm your host, Harry Caray. I was brought on last year by these hooligans, and they wanted me to come back. So here's our promo. Hey, welcome back. That video was excellently done. Like I said before, I'm Harry Caray, voice of the Chicago Cubs, and they wanted me back for another Sports Scene show. But before we get into it, let's meet our panel. The first man is wearing a Chicago Bulls jersey. He was on last year. His name is Nick R. I can't pronounce his last name, sorry. Stephanie Olson. She has an I-E at the end of her first name. Callie Frank, like the Frankfurter. And Aaron Engstrand, like England, but Engstrand. So our show is going to be real great today. It's not going to be a play-by-play cast of the Cubbies, but it's going to be a whole panel of sports topics. So let's get right in. First of all, the NBA playoffs. Last night, our Chicago Bulls beat the Miami Heat down in Miami. And it's without a lot of players. Nick, why? Why did they win?
Well, the bottom line is the Chicago Bulls played very tough, and they've played the Miami Heat very tough. In fact, they're 8-9 since the big three formed down in Miami. They've had a good amount of success. Why is this so impressive? Heinrich's out. Luol Deng's just had a spinal tap. He's out. Joakim Noah's walking around on a half a leg. Of course, Derrick Rose is out. Nate Robinson, who's played huge all year, stepped up huge, banged his head on the court, still was able to come back and put up 27 points, 9 assists. Great game from him. And Jimmy Butler shut down LeBron James, 2 points in the first half. Big win for the Bulls, taking the first one in Miami.
That Robinson fella, I didn't know that they allowed people under 6 foot to play round ball.
He's 5'9" in his prom heels, Harry. It's unbelievable.
Prom, those were the days. Stephanie with an IE.
I think that the main reason why the Bulls actually won was Miami's 8 days off. I think that plays a huge effect in every sport. You see football, when the first seed team, they have a week off, they have a bye week, they come back in and they don't win the first round. So I feel like this has something to do with it. Being off 8 days plays a huge effect into that. And the Bulls actually closed the game with a 10-0 run, which is a huge, that's how they won it. I mean, other than that, it was an okay game. I mean, I don't
yeah. Excellent. Cal?
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that the Bulls actually kind of figured out the Heat a little bit. This is the second time that they've won against them. They broke the streak earlier this season. But the game I want to talk about is the Spurs game. What an excellent game last night. They went in double overtime. The Spurs were trailing by 16 points with 4 minutes left in the game, and they were able to come back. Ginobili was able to drop the three-pointer right wide open for the win, and that place just erupted. It was an awesome game.
That fella's got one heck of a schnoz.
Absolutely.
Right? As they say down in San Antonio, that game was excelente. Right, Aaron?
Absolutely. Got to hand it to the Spurs for coming back like that to win it. I mean, Curry for the Golden State Warriors has been raining threes like it's nobody else's business. So definitely surprised that the Warriors weren't able to pull it out right there at the end. But, yeah, Spurs, holy crap. Where did that come from? I haven't seen aggression like that since the Bulls held the Heat down. That's all I got to say.
Speaking of the Bulls, Nick, you're pointing at me. It's like you got to say something.
Yeah, I just thought the most impressive thing about this, and I think this series is over after Game 1. The Spurs have this series won because they were down 16 points with 4 minutes to go. The Warriors thought everything was set up. Steph Curry, as you said, Aaron, having an unbelievable breakout postseason, becoming a true elite superstar. And for the Spurs to come back with their veterans, with guys like Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, Spurs have this series in the bag. It's over.
Yeah. Wow. A lot of confidence there, Nick. Is there any retorts?
I'm going to have to say I'm going to disagree. It was an awesome comeback, but I feel like now they got that chip on their shoulder. They were a little embarrassed. They kind of got blown out of the water there. They're going to come back and come strong at them. I don't know if it's quite over yet.
I never specified how many points we're going to give to people, so whatever number comes off the top of my head, that's what we're going to give. Nick, you're wearing a Chicago Bulls jersey. We'll give him 23 points for Michael Jordan.
It's a good first round.
Right. Hey, anyways, the NHL, it's not the NBA, but it's close. It starts with the same letter. There's a lot of fights that go on. This is probably my favorite part, except for watching the Blackhawks win a lot of games during the year. Steph, with an IE,
Well,
what do you think about fighting the NHL?
I mean, it's
The National Hockey League. What do you think?
I like it. I mean,
She likes it.
when you see highlights of NHL games, of course you see the goals, but I mean, a big part of it is actually the fights. If there's a fight, it makes SportsCenter every single time. It's like you can't take the fighting out of hockey. That's like taking the crashes out of NASCAR. It's the only thing that brings the people in. Otherwise, I wouldn't care about hockey
All
whatsoever.
right. Very physical answer there, Steph, with an IE.
It
Cal?
definitely brings the audience in, but sometimes it just gets a little too much and a little over dramatic when they're just like circling around each other for like 5 minutes at a time, and somebody's waiting for someone to take the punch, and it never happens. And then finally the ref comes in and it's like, okay, time to play hockey again. So that's kind of annoying. But yeah, it's definitely the cool part of hockey. But sometimes it's just a little overrated for me.
Aaron, do it.
I love it. I can't get enough of the fighting. It's like extra butter on my popcorn. You need it. It adds a little flavor. It adds a little spice. Yeah, it doesn't make a little sense that the refs are going to let two people buck each other in the face, but oh man, do I get into it. Especially the sporadic ones, not the ones that are kind of planned out like Steph was saying. They kind of circle each other. The sporadic fights that take place right in front of the goalie, those are the best. Lose a tooth.
Speaking of popcorn, I hear you do one heck of a John Madden impersonation.
It's very true, Harry. I do very...
He's not going to do it. Nick, I'm sorry we didn't get to you. So you know what? We'll start with you next time, this next topic. But first, we're going to give Steph 52 points for Clay Matthews' jersey. What's the next topic, you say? It's the Milwaukee Brewers. They had a 9-game win streak this year. Sure enough, they tanked. They tanked again. What's going on, Nick?
Well, there's a lot going on right now for the Milwaukee Brewers. The biggest thing is they're still not 100% offensively, and also as a pitching staff. There are still a few injuries to that pitching staff that people are forgetting about. Chris Capuano is a guy that can come back and maybe help out. But the goal here for the Brewers has always been stay around 500 until Corey Hart gets back in early June and Aramis Ramirez is back to full health. Now, Ramirez we saw a little bit of in this past week. We're going to see more of him this week. It's going to really help to have somebody in that cleanup spot that can actually contribute, because when you consider how clutch the 7, 8, and 9 spots have been in that batting lineup, there's no reason the Brewers shouldn't have about 4 or 5 more wins on the books. When they get healthy, I've got confidence that this team will still be contenders in the Central.
Wow, what an answer. Steph, hey.
I don't know what's going on with the Brewers. I feel like every game it's something different. The first game that they played in the series with the Cardinals, they were 1 for 8 with runners in scoring position. The second game, pitching was bad. The third game, they actually out-hit the Cardinals 14-10 and still lost. And then the fourth game, Marco Estrada did horrible. So, I mean, it goes from bad hitting to bad pitching. So you never know what to do about it.
Excellent answer. Callie Frank further.
I don't really think there's much to panic about yet. You got to remember, before this 5-game losing streak, they went on a 10-game win streak. So let's not forget about that. They're in a little rough momentum swing right now, and it's only going to get tougher for them after this 2-game homestand with the Texas Rangers. They're going to go on the road for 10 games against Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, and I want to say St. Louis again. So it's only going to get worse. So they really got to bring the momentum back together to pick up a couple wins and stay close to 500.
Speaking of momentum, Aaron?
They're losing mind over matter here. Yeah, I have to agree with Nick. They have been plagued with injuries, but with the outlook of Ramirez coming back, the lineup's going to shift. It's going to come back. They're going to start swinging again. They did go on a 10-win streak. Then they got hit with some injuries. They're losing really bad. But I'm telling you, with the schedule not lightening up, if the Brewers can just get their mind over matter, it can turn it around real easily.
There's a lot of positives to look at this team, too. You can almost forget, this is almost a young team now. You've got a guy in Willie Peralta who, in my opinion, is an ace in training. He's a guy that's going to contribute for years to come. He's still just learning how to pitch at the big league level. He's very young. You've got Gene Segura at shortstop. The Brewers did such a great job trading away Greinke last year to the Angels, getting this young stud Segura. The Angels rented Greinke and didn't even ultimately pay off. Now the Brewers have Gene Segura, and in my opinion, he is a multiple-time Gold Glove winner and All-Star at shortstop. A huge, huge young player and a fixture of the Brewers franchise for years to come.
Ryan Sandberg was a Cubby.
It's not Ryan, it's Ryan.
Ryan Sandberg was a Cubby. He was great, right, Nick?
He was Ryan Sandberg was.
He won a couple gloves that were golden. But hey, how about this Molina fella winning a platinum glove?
What?
When you're that good behind the dish, you get a platinum glove. He deserves it.
What do you take away from the Cardinals, who I used to announce for? But boy, I'm glad I was in Chicago. You think they're good?
Yeah, Cardinals are
the
good.
Cardinals
They're
are
going to win
good.
the division,
Yes.
Harry.
Awesome answer. Thanks. Hey, Cal, we got the same uniform on because Brett Favre's
Best guy
my
in the
favorite
league.
athlete.
Brett Favre's the greatest
So give
quarterback of all
Callie
time.
4 times 8 plus 4. 36, I think. Floyd Mayweather. He's one heck of a boxer. Callie?
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, he is. Floyd Mayweather just won again, and the big controversy right now is his legacy and whether he is going to go down as one of the all-time greats. So as we're up here, I'm going to say he's awesome. He's gone 44-0 in his last streak of fighting, and he's right. Even his dad came out and said, yeah, his son's a great boxer, but he's kind of in a period of time right now where there's no one else that can compete at his level. And you know, at that fight, the guy barely got a punch in on him. And he was hitting about 60% of his hits, and his opponent was hitting 19%. So there's no one that can compete against him. I wouldn't say that he's the best of all time. He's in the, not even really, for me, in a top 5 count. But right now, he's doing well.
He hasn't lost a fight.
He hasn't had anyone to compete against.
Clay Matthews?
How is that his fault, though, that he doesn't have anyone to fight? He's a 5-time World Division boxing champion. The man fought with a hurt left hook and still throwing it around like it was completely at 100%. He went into the fight, stayed in a defensive position, which he hasn't done for the last 20 fights in his last pro career. And if everyone else doesn't remember this, as an amateur, he won 84 different matches. 84. That's a pretty big number considering a boxing match when you can get knocked out in 2 seconds.
That's only 16 away from 100.
Absolutely. Floyd Mayweather is one of the greatest boxers of all time. A welterweight champion. He's a welterweight champion.
What you gotta say.
Yeah, you know, I agree. Floyd has really put together a very impressive resume. And like you said, Aaron, it's not really his fault, but it still does matter. Boxing is not the same as it was before. I wouldn't put Floyd Mayweather, despite his success, in front of names like Sugar Ray Robinson, Muhammad Ali, Jack Dempsey, even Mike Tyson I would rank in front of Floyd Mayweather. He's a great athlete, a great boxer, but not one of the greats of all time.
What do you think, Steph? Real quick.
Boxing's dying. It's MMA all the way. You don't hear anything about boxing anymore. You just hear MMA big fights.
That's all she's got to say
That's all I
about
got.
that one.
If Mayweather faces Pacquiao in one of his last 5 fights
That's
and wins
a
by a
different
unanimous
story.
decision,
Yes, I agree.
things may change. But
Things
until that
may-
happens, no way.
I'd have to agree. I was always a big fan of Mike Tyson. I figure if you could bite a guy's ear, you could win a fight. Anywho, they tell me it's time to go to commercial. We'll be right back. Hey!
Fact: University of Wisconsin Lacrosse is ranked the #2 college in the Midwest.
UW Lacrosse is ranked number 34 for out-of-state students among public universities nationwide. UW Lacrosse is ranked as one of the most military-friendly schools in the nation.
UW La Crosse is number 24 among medium colleges and universities for Peace Corps volunteers.
We're back. The lady's not telling me what to do. We're back here on Sportscene. Before we get into it, let's look at the scores. Nick R. has got 23. Callie Frank's got 52. Aaron Engstrand's got a goose egg. And Steph, without the IE on this one, Olson's got 36 points. Whoa, we're back in it here, folks.
I thought I had such
We're going to play a little game. Hey, this is my show. Little game we like to call Word Up. That's the people doing in Chicago. I don't know. The Milwaukee Bucks. They're terrible. Nick, what's the word? Up, dog.
The future for the Milwaukee Bucks, Harry Caray, believe it or not, is tangible. Although the Milwaukee Bucks don't have a head coach.
Let me get my dictionary for that one.
And they're losing their entire backcourt, in my opinion. Ellis, Reddick, and Jennings will probably be gone. They do have a very young and developing front court. Larry Sanders, defensive standout. Ersan Ilyasova, a scoring threat who will have more opportunities with the absence of guys like Jennings and Ellis. And John Hetson, an up-and-down rookie campaign, but when he got in games and got significant time, more than 20 minutes of playing time, averaged 13.4 points, 11.9 rebounds, 1.8 blocks. The Bucks' future, tangible.
Great answer. Tangible. Starts with a T, ends with a bull. Steph?
I think it's irrelevant. Who cares about Milwaukee Bucks? I'm just saying, you see that logo? It's called the Wisconsin logo. Who's on it? The Badgers, the Packers, and the Brewers. There's no Bucks on it. No one cares. If you ask any kid in Wisconsin who their favorite sporting team was, you're not going to get one person who says the Bucks. They weren't even 500 this year. They're not even. There's nothing. There's nothing good about them.
Steph is really critical. That's my word for Steph. Callie Frank.
I'm gonna have to go with a mess.
Frank Furter.
Yeah. Well, hey. So I'm gonna go with a mess, and I'm kind of like completely with Nick's argument, but on the opposite side. They don't have a coach. Brandon Jennings is out. He's in restricted free agent. Monte Ellis can opt out, and Jada Reddick's unrestricted free agent. There's no way that they're going to bring this team together unless they got to find a coach that's willing to, put in the effort that just meshes with these players. That's what happened this season. Half the guys didn't want to even talk to Jim Boylan, and so that's just how it went. They got to find people that can mesh together, and the Bucks are still going to be a sub 500 team, like always.
Clay Matthews? Oh, never mind. That's Aaron. It's still Aaron. Hey.
Dominating on both fronts. I got to say that my word is promising. I know that with Jennings looking like he's going to leave, we've still got, Ilyasova, we've still got Ellis still out there to play, Reddick's leaving, but we got young Bucks coming into the herd. They're gonna pick it up. They're gonna pick it up once they find a coaching staff that can meet their needs. Game over. The Bucks are coming back. They're gonna be over 500 next time.
And Aaron, you talk about coaching staff. I feel like Stan Van Gundy, if he's willing to take the chance of his own career, which NBA coaches are recycled so much it doesn't matter if he fails. What did he do in Orlando? He had Dwight Howard, a very good center. He's got three good big guys underneath. And he didn't have a lot of other talent around him in Orlando. Hito Turkoglu? And Orlando was good. I think Sam Van Gundy can come in, maybe do the job. Do I think he'll actually end up in Milwaukee?
No, but he's got to take a chance.
But if he does take that chance, I would love it.
I know a guy named Chance. He's one heck of a guy. I want to give some points to Aaron, because I thought he was Clay Matthews because of his dashing good looks and his long locks of blonde hair, but it turns out it's just Aaron. Aaron, 52 points for you.
Yes.
We're going to get right out into it, to my favorite football team, the Green Bay Packers. Me and Vince Lombardi, we go way back to about the 70s. Steph, Brian Bulaga, he's not where he's going to be anymore. Tell me what that means.
I think it's good for the Packers. I said relieving because Marshall Newhouse and Derek Sherrod were actually the last two guys to be left tackle. Actually, Sherrod hasn't played since December of 2011 when he broke his leg. But Newhouse actually allowed the second most sacks in the past 2 seasons. He allowed 16 sacks. So if we have Bulaga on the other side doing what Newhouse was supposed to do, maybe Aaron won't get sacked as much and he'll have more confidence in the pocket.
Excellent answer, Cal.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you. I found this to be reassuring. Mike McCarthy's taking a stand right away and fixing that front line to protect his $110 million quarterback, which he needs to do. Moving on, and then they're also going to move right guard Josh Sitton to left guard, swapping him with TJ Lang, which I also think is a smart move. They just need to find a center to stick right in the middle just to tighten up that front force, which I think will be great.
Aaron?
The word I chose was strategic, because it really is. Bulaga has proven in the past he's a veteran for our line. He can play anywhere, but we have, over the years, been losing the right side. Newhouse absolutely gave up 16 sacks.
Not Newhouse.
He was absolutely horrible. So by moving Bulaga over there and teaching him the same stuff that he's always known, it's going to be secondhand nature. It's going to be muscle memory. He is a dominant force, and on the right side where we can protect him, and like Callie said, if we can get a nice center too, we can run that ball all day up that hole.
Memory muscle. Do you agree, Nick?
Moving Bulaga from right tackle to left tackle is belated. This was a move that Mike McCarthy should have made last year, and it was a mistake to hope that somebody would pan out protecting Aaron Rodgers' backside. Bulaga is the best tackle on the team. It's a natural fit to move him to left. He does struggle a bit against speed power rushers, as we saw against the Seahawks. Very horrible game against the Seahawks last year. Allowed 2 sacks, a hit on the quarterback, and 8 quarterback hurries. He's going to have to improve. It does help to move Josh Sitton over there. Those two have been next to each other their entire careers in Green Bay. And then you just don't know what's going to happen on that other side. There's a lot of unanswered questions. I wouldn't be surprised to not see either Marshall Newhouse, Don Barclay, or Derek Sherrod. There may be a young rookie from Colorado, David Bakhtiari, that steps in early.
The way this guy pronounces names, looks in the dictionary for these words, Nick, we're going to give you some more points for this topic. I got to chime in a bit. I was an offensive lineman, but obviously I didn't make it too far. So give Nick 23 times 4 minus 8. Give him 15 points.
It's good math.
Thanks.
Quick.
I don't know. I'm kind of quick-witted. They call me Quickie. No, they don't. I made that up. I don't know why I just lied right there. The next topic deals with the Wisconsin Badgers and the LASAU Tigers down in Louisiana, LSU. What? All right.
Thank you, Kyle.
I don't know if they're telling. Hey.
All right, so yeah.
Harry, did you introduce the topic?
I got
You're the
this.
host, dang
I
it.
got this. There's a potential for a game between the Wisconsin Badgers and the LSU Tigers to take place in the wonderful Lambeau Field. How do we feel about this? Well, I think this would be absolutely awesome. One, because Wisconsin has a great, wonderful fan base, and I think everybody would just love to see this happen and take one great football team and put it in the house of another great football team. I think they would have a lot of people there to see that game.
By the way, the topic was Badgers versus LSU at Lambeau. One word. Aaron?
The word I'm going to have to go with is inevitable. Even if you hint or rumor at something about the Badgers playing at Lambeau, it's happening in Wisconsin. There's 3 things that you can for sure know about Wisconsin. We like beer, we like brats, and we like Badger football. All 3 in one specific place, Lambeau Field, home of the champs, all day, every day. It's inevitable. They're going to play the Tigers, and it's going to be a boatload powerhouse of fun.
Word up, Nick.
Word up. My word for this game at Lambeau Field potentially is logical. We already see some of the great stadiums and venues across the country host games. Wrigley Field hosts some football games in their stadium. Of course, the brand new Cowboys Stadium there with Jerry Jones is going to be hosting Alabama and Wisconsin, among several other major games across the season. Lambeau Field is a beautiful venue. They're continuing to renovate it. It's now going to seat close to 95,000 people. This is logical. Bring a game to Lambeau.
I love when he talks. Sorry about the introduction. Had something in my eyeball. And who would have thought someone would have got my eyeball these shades on my head? I don't know. I hear they got some nice cheerleaders up there at Lambeau Field. That'd be one heck of a game. I think we even have a cheerleader in the house today, right? She's not a cheerleader? No.
Harry, focus.
She keeps telling me the wrong thing. So what else do you think? Maybe they'll play something else in Lambeau Field, right, Steph?
Well, I think it's mind blowing. That's for sure.
I've skipped
It's all good.
Sorry.
It's all good. It's all good. Why do I think it's mind-blowing? I think it's about
she hasn't
time.
finished yet.
I think it's about time that Barry Alvarez decides to get some pretty legit non-conference games. I mean, we have Alabama coming up in 2015 at Cowboy Stadium, and I think this would just be an extra cherry on top of the cake.
I love cherries, and I also love cake. So, Steph, I'll give you a couple points as well. How about 100?
Jesus.
The next topic for Word Up. Brewers gold jerseys. I have no idea what that means. So, Callie, tell me.
So let's tell you, the Brewers have these new awesome uniforms, or are they, that are all gold. And my word is, Brewers' new gold uniforms are inspired by Trinidad James. Hot tamale, I'm certain. Woo!
That's about 17 words.
They are not cool. They are, out of all the awesome Brewer uniforms that are there, the pinstripes, all the throwbacks they have, these are the worst ones that are in the locker room right now, and they need to go out and burn them. That's all I got to say about those gold uniforms.
Does that even count? That wasn't one word.
I do what I want, okay?
She hyphenated it.
Aaron with 2 A's.
My word is it's a stretch. I know that a lot of teams want to do the throwbacks. They want to throw out some new stuff. These new gold jerseys are a huge stretch. I miss the days of the baby blues when I could easily watch these games and not have a tolerance or my eye twitching from too much gold. It's a stretch to me. I don't know why they want to do all gold. I mean, they're not a gold-winning team, unfortunately.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
Oh.
You ever see that Austin Powers movie, Gold Member?
I actually revolve my life around it.
Really?
Foxy Cleopatra.
That's odd. Nick, what do you think about the gold
My
jerseys?
word for the Brewers' new gold alternate jerseys is unique. I'm not really wild about them. I also don't hate them. They are very unique. You don't see a lot of other uniforms like them across baseball. I think the dark blue offsets well with the quote-unquote pale gold that they've gone with. So don't love them, don't hate them. I say they're unique.
I say that they are unoriginal. I've seen these before. When they have like the
Cervaceros.
Yeah. So it's not like they're anything new to me. I mean, but if you're a farm girl like myself, it looks like something that comes out of the end of a cow's butt when it's sick.
I think
I would say stuff like that with Harry Caray.
That sounds disgusting.
It definitely is. That's what it exactly looks like.
What kind of stuff do you think about there, Steph? Gee, Cerveceros, of course, means Brewers. Espanola. Well, hey, we got a couple more topics to talk about. Speaking of the Green Bay Packers, Al Harris, he's got some long hair.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not sure about this topic either.
Well, Harry,
Nick, you want to
maybe
start?
if you did some prep work every once in a while, Harry,
They don't
you
tell you
joke.
anything.
70s
This
were a
goes
hard
in my
time,
life,
weren't
yapping
they?
about
Now,
you.
Al Harry actually retired recently this past week, and he wanted to do so as a Green Bay Packer.
Thanks.
What we were going to talk about, guys, was what his legacy is as a Green Bay Packer. How will he be remembered? I don't think he's going to be remembered as an all-time great, but he will always be in Packer lore. 14 of his 21 career interceptions were in a Packers uniform. He always played a very physical bump-and-run type of game, even as the NFL changed in favor of zone coverages and non-aggressive corners. And his pick six in the overtime of the 2003 NFL playoffs against the Seattle Seahawks, when Hasselbeck proclaimed they want the ball and they're going to win, that play will live in infamy for many years.
Steph?
Like, Nick gave me goosebumps talking about that. I remember that like it was yesterday. But I love Al Harris. I think he actually gave the cornerbacks the idea to have long hair. I mean, look at all the Packers now that have long hair. Like Mike McKenzie used to, Atari Bigby, Williams, Morgan Burnett, McMillan, MD Jennings. So he's a fashionista in the cornerback world.
He's a memorable quarterback, but I don't know how memorable he actually is. I like what he had to say about the Packers organization. He was with a couple other teams, but he said there was something about the Packers organization and the fans and the team and the atmosphere itself, and that's what I like to hear about players when they're talking about the green and gold.
Love Al Harris. Always love it when Packers want to retire in our colors. Always a good thing. He's not one of the greatest players of all time, but got to give mad respect to the man for trying to be with us for the rest of his life. Love him. Stay with us. I'll always remember you.
Honestly, I have no idea how the points work. So this game goes to Nick Rytilahti? Yeah. Hey. Or Callie and Aaron. Gee, these people don't tell me anything. Nick, say 2 words.
Yeah, I just gotta
Also,
say there's always a lot of negative stories in the world of sports. It's tough to focus away from them. But remember, all the good stories, seek them out, find them out, and remember, sports are a great auxiliary event to make life a fun time.
Thanks a lot. Get out, Harry Caray. Cubs win. Cubs win.